On today's Teddy's Tips, I whined and it worked. Oh, yeah, I got a solution to fix tanking. And also, wise guy totals, impact injuries, under the radar ATS angle. Let's break it down with Teddy's Tips for Wednesday. A fast paced NBA show in and out in 10 minutes. Ted Savransky, Teddy covers from WagerTalk.com. And yeah, I whined yesterday. I'm like, I'm running bad. Wah. I'm not usually a complainer when it comes to close losses because it happens. And you've been doing this in Las Vegas every day for 28 years like I've been doing it, the losses roll off you sometimes. They do. That being said, when you keep losing tight games and you're not running good, you get frustrated. Happens. I can get as grumpy as anyone else. And last night I had the Clippers, and the Clippers opened the game just like I thought they would. 27-5 run. They were interested. Dallas was not. What happened? Well, they trailed by the third quarter. So much for a hot lead. But when all was said and done, the Clips made the moves down the stretch in the fourth. They won by 13. They covered the number. It was not a right side. Luck was in my favor. Whining works? I don't know. Maybe we'll try it again today. I want to talk about tanking at the top of today's show. That's all I'm reading about in the NBA is one tanking article after another. And first, let me say this. As a bettor, we like tanking. We like the current environment. There are ample opportunities to make money down the stretch when you know this team's not interested in winning and this team is. We love the NBA for that. So from a betting standpoint, and I'm a bettor, not a fan. For a betting standpoint, let all the tanking continue as far as I'm concerned. That said, if the NBA really wants to fix tanking, it's a two-part process. For me, at least. I think, and someone can tell me how I'm wrong in the comments. Please do tell me how I'm wrong in the comments. But real simple. There are, in the NBA, 10 teams that do not make the play-in games. 15 teams in each conference. So 10 of those 15 make the playoffs or the play-in, and the other 10 teams, give them all the same odds. If you don't make the play-in, the 10 teams that don't make it all get the same odds. Then there's no reason to lose more games. Now, when you talk about the next stage, then you put the 8 teams that play in the play-in games and give them all the same odds for picks number 11 to 18. And then from there, you can do it the way that you're doing it, from 19 to 30 with the teams that have made the playoffs, the top 6 seeds in each league. But if you just give everyone the same odds, there's no reason to lose more games. The other thing that you have to do in order to fix this properly is when people trade a pick, they trade the pick, not a top 3 protected pick, a top 8 protected pick, a top 6 protected pick. Just if you trade the pick, you trade the pick. And that simple rule change solves tanking. It really does. Bad teams are going to do what they do, but there's no incentive for them to lose. In my mind, that's the way to fix the problem, but the NBA doesn't call me for this type of stuff. All right. Thank you for listening to my tanking proposal. Thank you for listening to my whining. Let's get down to business. Wise guy totals for Wednesday. Last night, we had 3 wise guy totals. Utah, New Orleans, over was as right gets. Miami, Toronto, not so much. Chicago, Washington, also stayed under. So 1 and 2 with the wise guy totals yesterday. Today, there's a clear number 1 choice when we talk about the wise guy totals for tonight. And that game comes in San Antonio, where the Blazers and the Spurs collide. Last night, the Spurs-Blazers total sitting at 233, anywhere as high as 234.5. There was a pretty good variance on it, but it ranged 233 to 234.5. Right now, look at the Odds Logic live odds screen. I'm seeing 228.5 on there, 229 as the prevailing number. So significant under money for Portland, San Antonio. And let's talk about why. Because an interesting scenario, what do the Spurs do without Wemby? Because you're assuming Wemby not in the lineup for San Antonio, therefore the low post defense is going to be as good. The shot blocking, Wemby's insane at his ability to make up ground in the paint. But Wemby's also a really good offensive player who creates all kinds of mismatch on the offensive end of the court. And we talk about Portland. The Blazers' defense has been the underrated piece of the equation for Portland's late season run. Their defense was ranked number 1 in the NBA over a 15-game span. Last time out, they did not play a good defensive game at Denver. Denver's given them problems all year long. But certainly from a stat standpoint and from an intensity standpoint, Portland's defense has been there. San Antonio without Wemby, the markets are saying You're supposed to be betting under on this game. Well, the markets have already bet under on this one. A clear wise guy total move in the overnight/early morning hours from a Wednesday night into Thursday. The other one that stands out, and again, this isn't crazy or anything, but this was sitting in the 225.5 range last night, 226. Now I'm seeing 227.5 for the Clippers and the Thunder. Both teams on the second of back-to-backs. The market's saying there may be a little bit step slow on defense. And certainly, we look at the series history. OKC's been able to do whatever they wanted against LA in just about every recent meeting. So, over money for the Thunder and the Clippers, under money for the Spurs and the Blazers. Those are the two wise guy totals that stand out for this bettor when it comes to Wednesday's betting action. When it comes to impact injuries for today, two just announced before I recorded this video. And again, every day I usually record in the range of 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, sometimes a few minutes later. But that's the general range where I'm recording this show, so it can be posted before 11 a.m. Pacific time, before 2 p.m. On the East Coast, because I know that's when you guys start clicking on NBA videos for the day. So that's the goal. But the injury that just came out, the two that just came out as I was preparing the show for today from Minnesota. Anthony Edwards sitting tonight, second of back-to-backs for Ant and the T-Wolves. Julius Randle sitting tonight for Minnesota as well. And what have we seen? Well, last night, anyway, there wasn't a lot of books that had lines up for this ball game last night, but there were sixes out there for the Magic. Well, right now, I'm seeing 9.5 for Orlando at home against Minnesota. Urgency for the Magic, a team that has not played very good basketball over the second half of the campaign. They've shown us something over the last week or so, really the last week or two. But certainly, and Orlando's fighting for the playoff, play-in positioning stuff. Money obviously come for Orlando. They're up to 9.5 against the Minnesota team that we're missing two of their best players. That said, you've been trying to lay money with the Magic lately, at all this season. You probably haven't done all that well. Orlando has not been a good favorite. They have, however, taken all the money in this one. I'm curious, what is Orlando? If you just look at Orlando, and every game is a favorite this season. Give me 1 second, I'll look that up, because that's one that I'm just curious about. I know they're not as far at the bottom as I thought. 20 and 28. Indiana, Chicago, Cleveland, Dallas, Milwaukee, Houston, and Washington, all worse than them percentage-wise. When you're talking about laying points as a favorite. So Minnesota, no Ant, no Julius Randle. The Magic taking a whole lot of money. That's something you definitely want to know if you're getting involved in that one. One more thing to talk about before I let you guys go. And again, we do this every weekday on WagerTalk TV. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate the follows very, very much. Stay tuned on the channel. We got more video content that's really good every single day. And of course, I'm doing NBA Daily Double videos as well. So lots of good stuff at WagerTalk.com. You can visit my homepage, wt.buzz/TC, and play in the association tonight with MLB as well. And if you want to get on board, great playoff package available. You get the regular season for free. Take $50 off the playoffs as well, the rest of the regular season for free. $199 gets you every play, every day in the NBA from now through Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Again, wt.buzz/TC. One more thing I want to talk about, the angle of the day. What's the angle today? Well, we have Cleveland laying points at home, at least as we speak right now. They're -1.5 against Atlanta. Atlanta's been profitable as a road dog, 14 and 10 ATS. Cavs off a win, like the win in their last ball game, 18 and 31 ATS full season. They've been bad against the point spread after a victory. So when there's no urgency, and Cleveland as home favorites, 13 and 23 against the number. Significant and consistent money losers. Angle today says ESPN tonight, take the Hawks plus the 1.5. Cleveland has been particularly bad in this role. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel between now and then. Enjoy the games and best of luck with all your bets. We appreciate you. I appreciate you very, very much. And the comments, guys, they make my heart smile. Thank you. Cheers. Have a great day. We'll do it tomorrow.